All right, are we ready, willing, and able?
Yeah, sorry, I just literally spilled water down my face. Shocking.
Nice. Hello, everybody. It's been a while.
Hi, it's Chloe Dog.
I'm so sick.
Looking so cute as always.
Drinking out of a bowl.
Happy start of Shabbat. Yay!
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Almost. It's kind of like dim dark, so it's close enough, right?
Sorry, we've been a little busy moving again. Story to come later.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into it, but
Uh,
I think the Lord has put it on our heart, right?
yes.
We are going to be leaving, so we're not sure exactly yet.
Like
So
Abraham.
If anybody wants to, you could definitely pray that the Lord would guide us
To the proper place.
to the proper place in His will. And to be honest, I don't know about you, but I feel
Where is it?
She's in pajamas.
Not really.
my
She
cozy.
uses them as pajamas.
Yeah.
Remember, don't bump the table.
Whatever.
They're
Kind of.
pajamas.
All right, so tonight on the docket is 1 Samuel 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We'll see what we get through.
Probably for we usually do what 3 chapters in a psalm a night.
We have
so,
5 today.
Off the table. Got it.
I don't know where we actually finished reading. Maybe it was in Exodus or Deuteronomy, but we made it through
That'd be hilarious if the Bible caught on fire.
Deuteronomy and Judges and Ruth. So here we are at. We just started 1 Samuel yesterday, so let's remember that Yeshua is the light of the world.
Yeah. All right, ready? Should we get a quick prayer in? Or?
Yeah.
Praying.
We thank you very, very, very much for allowing us to do this and for allowing us to have your word, because we'd be lost without it. And we'd like to bless you and ask that you bless us and all our tens of viewers. I was going to say listeners, I don't know why. I guess you listen to. And we'd like to rebuke Satan's work and demand that any demons in and about here and around here and our viewers get out and don't ever come back. In Yeshua's name we pray, via the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
You didn't say to come on down.
Oh, that's right, dear Lord. I forgot because it's our reading one. You have to come on down. And you can eat all of Bella's leftover burritos. And I'm sure you'll like them. In Yeshua's name we pray, via the Holy Spirit. Amen.
But I didn't say they're ready.
All right.
All right.
Oh, I forgot the microphone.
I'm a cat.
It should be all right.
Mommy, I'm a cat.
All right. Can you not mess around?
Stop messing around with the
Hey, I put my
table.
water on the bowl.
You should. I'm trying to move you
Don't
back.
put
all
it.
the way.
Yeah, don't put it on the table. Don't. Just because I didn't do. I did the best I could with what I had to stand those to levitate
They
those.
actually, those are standing stuff. They're standing pretty tall in
Yeah.
victory.
If
but
a
we
little,
just don't
if someone
wanna-
breathes on them, they'll fall over Bella.
Yeah, but I like I love the pink. I'm not
Alright.
gonna lie.
4.
It's pretty.
And Shemuel, Aleph. That's Samuel. And okay. 4. Thus the word of Samuel was to all of Israel, and Israel went out to battle against the Philistines, and encamped besides Ben Hazor, while the Philistines encamped in Aphek. And the Philistines put themselves in battle array against Israel. And when the battle spread, Israel was stricken by the Philistines, who killed about 4,000 men of the army in the field. And when the people came into camp, the elders of Israel said, "Why has Yahweh smitten us today before the Philistines? Let us bring the ark of the covenant of Yahweh from Shiloh to us, so that he comes into our midst and saves us from the hands of our enemies." And the people of Shiloh, a people sent to Shiloh, and they brought from there the ark of the covenant of Yahweh of hosts, dwelling between the cherubim. And the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of Elohim. Now, keep in mind, you didn't get through 1 and 2 and 3. We didn't read in the camera. The 2 sons of Eli are on Yahweh's shit list because they're punks. And so he told Eli, he's like, "I'm taking away, the priesthood from the Levites because, your sons are douchebags, not following my way, and you didn't straighten them out."
And we know who he's going to give it to. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
And so that's kind of important to know here.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Hint, wink, wink.
And when the
That's
ark of the covenant of Yahweh came into the camp, all Israel shouted so loudly that the earth shook. And when the Philistines heard the noise of
That's definitely
the
how
shout, they said, "What is the noise of this great shout in the camp of the Hebrews?" And when they knew that the ark of Yahweh had come into the camp, the Philistines were afraid, for they said, "Elohim has come into the camp." And they said, "Woe to us, for it has never been like this before. Woe to us! Who shall deliver us from the hand of these mighty Elohim? These are the Elohim who struck the Mishrites with all the plagues in the wilderness. Be strong and be men, you Philistines, that you do not become servants of the Hebrews, as they have been to you. Be men and fight." And the Philistines fought, and Israel was smitten, and every man fled to his tent.
Wait, the Philistines or the Israelites?
The Israelites lost, because remember Yahweh was like, "That's just a box of wood. If I'm not with you,
This isn't
yeah, it's irrelevant." And the slaughter was very great, and
You mean gold?
there fell Israel 30,000 foot soldiers. And the ark of Elohim was captured, and the two sons of Eli died, Hophni and Phinehas.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Bella.
Pius?
Phineas.
Oh, it
And-
sounded like you said penis.
And the man of Benjamin
Sorry.
ran from the battle line the same day, and came to Shiloh with his garments torn and dirt on his head. And he came in and saw Eli sitting on a seat by the wayside watching, for his heart trembled for the ark of Elohim. And the man came into the city and reported it, and all the city cried out. And Eli heard the noise of the outcry and said, "What is the noise of this uproar?" And the man came hastily and informed Eli. Now Eli was 98 years old, and his eyes were so dim that he was unable to see.
Didn't I already say that?
Yes, and the man said to Eli, "I am he who came from the battle, and I fled today from the battle line." And he said, "What was the matter, my son?" And the messenger answered and said, "Israel has fled before the Philistines, and there has been a great slaughter among the people, and your two sons have died, Hophni and Phinehas, and the ark of Elohim has been captured." Dun dun dun. And it came to be when he made mention
Wait,
of
I think I remember this.
Shh. And it came to be when he made mention of the ark of Elohim that Eli fell off the seat backward by the side of the gate, and his neck was broken, and he died.
Wait, what?
Talk about it falling and I can't get up.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Wait, so he was sitting and he heard the news and he fell back on his seat, his neck broke and died?
Yeah.
Yikes.
For the man was old and heavy, and he ruled Israel 40 years. So he's a big fat ass. I remember when you're old, everything's more brittle.
That's true.
So.
True.
Plus,
But I'm young and I'm brittle.
Plus,
I was obviously-
plus he was kind of on Yahweh's shit list too.
Yep.
And his daughter-in-law, Phinehas' wife, was pregnant, about to bear. And when she heard the news that the ark of Elohim was captured, and that her father-in-law and her husband were dead, she bowed herself and gave birth, because her pains came upon her. And about the time of her death, the woman who stood by her said to her,
Jeez.
"Do not fear, for you have borne a son." But she did not answer, nor did she set her heart to it. And she called the child Ichabod, saying, "The esteem has departed from Israel, because the ark of Elohim was taken, and because of her father-in-law and her husband." And she said, "The esteem has departed from Israel, for the ark of Elohim was taken." 5. Cue the sad music. And the Philistines took the ark of Elohim and brought it from Eben-Hazar to Ashdod. And the Philistines took the ark of Elohim and brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon. And the Ashdodites rose early in the morning and saw Dagon fallen on its face to the ground before the ark of Yahweh. So they took Dagon and put it in its place again. Dagon, whatever. And they arose early the next morning and saw Dagon fallen on its face to the ground before the ark of Yahweh, and the head of Dagon and both the palms of its hands cut off. On the threshold, only Dagon itself was left of it. That is why, to this day, the priests of Dagon and all who come into Dagon's house do not tread on the threshold of Dagon in Ashdod. But the hand of Yahweh was heavy on the Ashdodites, and he wasted them and struck them with tumors, Ashdod and its borders. And when the men of Ashdod saw this, they said, "Let not the ark of Elohim of Israel remain with us, for his hand has been hard on us, and on Dagon our mighty one."
Wait. So a hard head or a hard hand?
You know, heavy hand. When someone says heavy-handed, you've been rough, harsh. Then they sent and gathered to them all the princes of the Philistines and said, "What do we do with the ark of Elohim of Israel?" And they answered, "Let the ark of Elohim of Israel be removed to Gath." And they removed the ark of the Elohim of Israel. And it came to be, after they removed it, that the hand of Yahweh was against the city with a very great destruction. And he struck the men of the city, from the least to the greatest, and tumors broke out on them.
What are tumors?
Like growths, tumors like cancer, just big, they can be big growths or just like lumps under your skin.
Under?
Yeah, it's like a lump, like a big, huge pimple can be, or
Like a boil?
kinda, or it can be deeper in you.
So so each city so far is just getting a bunch of tumors, huh?
Yeah.
And plagues and
All right. Sit down.
I'm cold.
You'll be fine. Look it up. Then
so chapter 6.
No.
Right?
Then,
oh,
no.
I'm sorry.
backseat reader.
Actually wasn't ready.
That's why.
I screwed
That's
it
why
up.
the women weren't allowed to speak in church.
Oh, you better watch it.
Then they sent the ark of Elohim to Ekron, and it came to be, as the ark of Elohim came to Ekron, that the Ekronites cried out, saying, "They have removed the ark of Elohim of Israel to us, to kill us and our people." And they sent and gathered together all the princes of the Philistines, and said, "Send away the ark of the Elohim of Israel, and let it return to its own place, so that it does not kill us and our people. For there had come a deadly destruction throughout all the city. The hand of Elohim was very heavy there. And the men who did not die were stricken with tumors, and the cry of the city went up to the heavens." That is freaking awesome.
What?
Because you just, imagine like having something, like you beat your enemy and all that, took all whatever, and then the one thing of, the ark was just so nasty and messed everything up so bad, you were just like, give it back to him.
That must have been bad.
People don't like giving shit back to anybody, especially
After they stole it in the war.
yeah, it was all
yeah.
gold, and then the rest of the world's like, oh, they had to give that back. They're a bunch of punks.
Yeah, that must have been.
So
That's awesome.
that's what I'm saying. That's
Praise
why
the Lord.
even
Praise
Pharaoh,
the Lord.
changed his mind about letting the Israelites go because he's like, I'm gonna look like a punk. So that's how bad it had to be for them to like get this thing out of here.
So they had plagues,
Tumors.
Tumors.
So, and
tumors,
maybe
their
some
idols
other,
were falling.
Kind of like what's going to happen
some other stuff.
during Revelation in the.
Am I gonna get tumors?
Oh, it's gonna be way worse
No,
than
it's
that.
like boils instead of tumors.
Oh, I'd much rather have that. That's you've put me at rest. Thank you.
Ew, who farted?
The dog.
Whoa, sweet girl.
Poor thing.
And the ark of Yahweh, 6, and the ark of Yahweh was in the field of the Philistines for 7 new moons. And the Philistines called for the priests and the diviners, saying, "What do we do with the ark of Yahweh? Let us know with what we should send it to its place." And they said, "If you send away the ark of Elohim of Israel, do not send it empty, but you shall certainly return it to him with a guilt offering. Then you are going to be healed, and it shall be known to you why his hand does not turn aside from you." And they said, "What is the guilt offering which we return to him?" And they answered, "The number of princes of the Philistines, 5 golden tumors and 5 golden rats, for the same plague was on all of you and on your princes. And you shall make images of your tumors and images of your rats that ruin the land, and you shall give esteem to the Elohim of Israel."
So they have to now
Make, I guess,
make
golden rats and
images and
tumors?
stuff like that
I
to
guess.
show
Ew,
what they have to go
rats?
through.
I guess, yeah.
Right, and I guess
And Daddy, this is funny.
That's what it sounds like.
so they have to do a guilt offering
Yeah.
and give esteem to Yahweh. And
That's
then
awesome.
document it so everybody knows.
So not only did they give it back, he trolled them at the end too.
Well, of course
What do
he
you mean?
is.
Why did he troll
You
them?
know, he also trolled them. I'm saying at the end. That's
Like, I
awesome.
don't get it. How did he troll them?
When you troll someone, you kind of like, I don't know, kind of taunt them. It's kind of like Tried to like just piss
What
him
did
off.
he do? I forgot.
Well, he's like, okay, well, I put a bunch of toils and rats on your land, so make me gold rats and gold tumors. Like out of gold, like what you're not supposed to do, make golden images or images of whatever. But he said it, so it's fine.
Down.
As long as he says it, you're good.
Yeah. Okay, let's see, blah blah blah, and see,
Ow.
shh. And it could be that he does lift his hand from you for your mighty ones from your land. And why do you harden your hearts as the Mistrites and Pharaoh hardened their hearts when he had severely dealt with them? Did they not send them away, and they went? And now take and make a new wagon and 2 milk cows which have never been yoked, and hitch the cows
What's yoked?
to the wagon. Put to work like a yoke that pulls like a plow or something.
See, I know what like an egg yolk is.
Worked in the field.
I'm
Yes,
I'm
the
allergic
cows
to them.
cows that haven't had egg yolk on them. Then they take their calves home away from them, and take the ark of Yahweh, and put it on the wagon, and put the objects of gold which you are returning to him as a guilt offering in a chest by its side, and send it away, and it shall go. And you shall see, if it goes up the way to its own border, to Beth Shemesh, then he has done us this great evil. But if not, then we shall know that his hand has not come against us. An accident it was to us. And the men did so, and took 2 milk cows, and hitched them to the wagon, and shut up their calves at home. And they put the ark of Yahweh on the wagon, and the chest with the gold rats, and the images of their tumors. And the cows went straight for the way to Beth Shemesh.
So what did it say? What of the rats?
The golden image.
No, what was it?
Statues.
Oh, the golden rats. Okay.
Yeah.
It says what it is. He's making them mold golden rats.
And it went so Beth Shemesh, and went along the highway, bellowing as they went.
Bellowing and like crying.
Yeah, and did not turn aside, right or left. And the princess of the Philistines went after them to the border, princess of Beth Shemesh. And they of Beth Shemesh were reaping their wheat harvest in the valley. And they lifted their eyes and saw the ark, and rejoiced to see it. And the wagon came into the field of Yehoshua of Beth Shemesh, and stood there. And there was a great stone. So they split the wood of the wagon, and offered the cows as an ascending offering to Yahweh. And the Levites took down the ark of Yahweh, and the chest that was with it, in which were the objects of gold, and put them on the great stone. And the men of Beth Shemesh offered ascending offerings and slaughterings the same day to Yahweh. And when the 5 princes of the Philistines saw it, they returned to Ekron the same day. And these are the gold tumors which the Philistines returned as a guilt offering to Yahweh. 1 for Ashdod, 1 for Azah, 1 for Ashkelon, 1 for Gath, 1 for Ekron. And the gold rats, by the number of all the cities of the Philistines.
So I have a question. How did they
belonging
make gold tumors?
They just melted gold down and made I'll explain afterwards. 5 princes, both walled cities and country villages, even as far as the great meadow in which they placed the ark of Yahweh, remain to this day in the field of Yehoshua of Beth Shemesh. And he struck among the men of Beth Shemesh, for they had looked into the ark of Yahweh. And he struck among the people 70 men, and the people mourned, because Yahweh struck among the people a great smiting.
My eye hurts.
And the men of Beth Shemesh said, who is able to stand before this set apart Yahweh Elohim? And to whom shall he go from us? And they sent messengers to the inhabitants of Kirath Yearim, saying, the Philistines have brought back the ark of Yahweh. Come down, take it up to you. So did you catch what was going on there? They were told, the Philistines were told, look,
So we
if
have
the
to do
cows
7
if the cows were,
and 8 tomorrow. Okay.
if the cows, because the Philistines were like, well, maybe it was an accident. So they're like, if the cows wander around, then it was an accident. But if the cows go to the border of Beth Shemesh, that
yeah.
means you clowns are guilty. He meant to do it, and you're lucky you're getting away.
Like, I'm assuming he meant to do the plagues and
Yeah.
all that, right?
And
Yeah.
the cows went straight to the border. So
That's awesome.
yes, there's no like.
God always
Which
chose
is
people.
awesome how he, draws the, they say,
I can definitely
like,
tell
all
that they
the
love it.
animals, all the trees, all the people,
With-
like everything.
Dear Lord,
about
can you be
the
that
Lord,
direct
so.
with me when I ask you things and wonder? You should never pray to the Holy Spirit, amen.
Sam, isn't he direct enough?
No, I'm a dummy. I need
I
directness.
think,
True.
yeah.
You
Because I
are
think
dummy.
too much. Because
Wait, I
if I
gotta
see
read it.
something, I interpret it.
I'm gonna read it.
You want to read it?
Yeah, you
Which one are
can.
we doing? 78?
So we're on 78, which is what?
Are you supposed to read all of that? I have a feeling that they break that into things. So
Yeah. So
Wait.
maybe.
Wait a second.
Well, it doesn't matter. Look, we'll read.
Wait one
it's
second.
like one of the longest ones in this book. So
Don't bother. We'll just read this, and then
like the first column.
yeah, read this, Bella, and then on this page, this.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
So that's not terrible.
Now, what sheets did I sit in?
She's been so good. Oh,
She's probably ready to hit the sack.
you hit the
This
road.
is usually when she.
Hit the road, sack. Until she comes back.
No.
She's my baby.
All right. Let's
My
hear it.
people, give ear to my Torah. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I open my mouth in a parable. I utter riddles of old, which we have heard and known, for our fathers have related them to us. We do not hide them from their children, relating to the generation to come the praises of Yahweh, and his strength and his wonders which he has done, for he has raised a witness in Jacob and set a Torah to Israel, which he commanded our fathers to teach them to their children, that it might be known to a generation to come, to children who would be born, to rise up and relate them to their children, and place trust in their Elohim, but not forget the works of El, but watch over his commands, and not like their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation. A generation which did not prepare its heart. Looks like heat. Who is it whose because it's WHOSE?
WHOS. Yeah, who's?
Okay.
Who's?
I don't know if it was whose or something else.
No, that's who's.
Like- Like double hose or something like that. Whose spirit was not steadfast to El. The children of Ephraim armed bowmen.
Bowman. But I think like bow and arrow. So like, I think there's a certain segment of the armies back then that had spears and shields, and then some that had bows, and some that were on chariots and so forth. I think that's what they're
What
talking
about guns?
Oh yeah, they were like, "What's up, yo?" back in the day. That's yeah, and then artillery and close air support and yeah, all that stuff.
They must have had a lot of stuff back then.
Yes, all right, keep going.
Turned back in the day of battle. They did not guard the covenant of Elohim, and they refused to walk in his Torah, and they forgot his deeds and his wonders which he had shown them. He did wonders in the sight of their fathers, in the land of Mitzrayim, in the field of Tisana. Tsoan.
It's probably the Hebrew version of Zion. Tysion.
Nope. Tsoan. Tsoan.
There's no Y. Maybe it is Zion. I don't know. I'd have to see it, but that's all right.
Tassin. I'll just say
I
Tossin.
think the T might be silent, or the S, one of them. Maybe the T.
Soen. Or Tsoan.
It's okay.
He split the sea and caused them to pass through, and he made the waters stand up like a heap, and led them with the cloud by day, and all the night with a light of fire. He split the rocks in the wilderness, and made them drink as from the great depths, and brought forth streams and from the rock, and cursed waters to come down as rivers. Yet they sinned still more to rebel against the Most High in the desert. And they tried El in their heart by asking food according to their desire. And they spoke against Elohim. They said, "Is El able to set a table in the wilderness? Look, he struck the rock, so that the waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed. Is he able to give bread also? Would he provide meat for his people?" Therefore Yahweh heard, and he was wroth. So fire was kindled against Jacob, and displeasure also came up against Israel, because they did not believe in Elohim, neither did they trust in his deliverance.
You already brought their asses out of Egypt. What more do they need to see?
Yeah.
He was
I mean, they
making
saw the Red Sea.
bread falling from the. I mean, you know,
They
sometimes,
need to see worms fall from the sky in China.
yeah, sometimes I think I'm like, well, you know, they say stuff like bread the Red Sea, but I'm like, well, that's nothing to God. But then imagine seeing that in person, hearing the
Right.
noise,
That's
the roar, and
kicker.
feeling the wind coming off of that, and
And feeling the wind coming off of what?
Yeah, just seeing like
the ocean being parted hundreds of feet high on each side.
that
And
must have been insane.
you truly would be.
Right, I mean it's nothing to
You truly
for God,
would. You
but
truly
it's-
would be like.
It's everything for people, you know. It's like, whoa,
Yeah, that would
we're
be-
just seeing a huge storm and then, you know, Jesus.
Greta,
come
do
in
you want to
and
know
walk on
something
water.
funny? In
So,
school,
anywho, hope everybody has
No,
a
no.
great, awesome start to the Sabbath.
Yes.
And we will be back tomorrow
Yeah.
for some more Sabbath fun.
Indeed.
Amen.
Amen.
goodbye.